Chapter 1 Auspicious Prayers and Description of Vrindavan. I offer my respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of Krishna, which are bound in friendship's constant remembrance to the breasts of the Vrajagopis and permanently stained with their fine bodily ointments. The radiant pink color of Krishna's foot soles come from the kumkum anointing the upper part of the gopi's breast. The dark blue color of his feet originates from the musk spread on the lower part of their breasts. The wave of light emanating from his moon-like nails comes from the sandalwood paste covering the middle portion of their breasts. May the two lotus feet of Krishna, the enemy of Putana, always protect us. His delicate toes resemble the petals of a pink lotus flower, and his slender ankles resemble the stalk of a lotus. His lotus feet hold the honey of his devotees' faith. The streams of light emanating from his toenails resemble the stamens of a lotus. The kumkum powder from the budding breast of Radhika, which cling to his foot soles, resembles the pollen of a lotus flower. All glories to the most worshipable Lord Chaitanya Krishna Hari, who is fragrant with the honey of the sweetest love. His method of worship is like a forest of golden lotuses. He is an overflowing cascade of nectarian mercy, a golden mountain of prem, and a lightning flash signifying victory for the cloud-like assembly of devotees. I offer my respects to Sri Advaitacharya, the beloved associate of the Lord Chaitanya, who is very affectionate to everyone, including me, and who destroys the sins of the whole world. I offer my respects to Swarup Damodar, Rai Ramanand, and the Goswamis headed by Roop and Sanatan. These exalted personalities fully represent Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because they possess the same prem, qualities, compassion, pleasure, and sweetness. I offer my humble respect to Srinath, my Guru, who appeared in a Brahman family like the moon rising from the ocean. Being the object of Mahaprabhu's love, he was the crest jewel of the earth. Whoever tasted the pure Hari Katha flowing from his mouth immediately lost all attachments to worldly pleasures and desired only to serve Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya and his eternal associates have all returned to Goloka, Vrindavan, far beyond the vision of this world. Because of the absence of the qualified hearers of rasa, the skillful writers of rasa have also disappeared. With them, the ability to understand rasa and prema also vanished. Alas, the fragrance of perfectly composed poetry finds no shelter. O Mother Saraswati, how can I properly praise you? It is not possible for any living entity to describe your variegated pastimes. Although the poet may try to firmly bind you and glorify your activities with the ropes of flowery phrases and other poetic devices, such an attempt will merely inflate his pride. If by chance the binding becomes loose, then the natural meaning of the work will at once disappear. O poets, just listen. What is the fault in words of praise if the devotional poet uses them to bind the Lord in his heart with the ropes of affection. In answer to this, he says, O Saraswati, by your mercy we can obtain unlimited joy. Just as one worships the ocean with the ocean water, similarly we worship you with eloquent words to repay you for the bliss you have given so mercifully. I will bathe you in the nectarian stream of Krishna's pastimes. Now, Saraswati Devi, please stay here and listen attentively. One may ask, why produce a new literary work when new poets always find faults with the great works of the previous poets? One scholar will find defects in another's work, and then another learned man will find defects in his. But one should ignore the critics, since every living entity cherishes his own life. He will not see any defects in his own actions. Similarly, although a lamp cannot illuminate his own base, it removes the darkness from the four directions. Just as smoke precedes the light of fire, similarly, a man often displays some defects before he exhibits perfection. You may say that this literary work has no other purpose than to show off my ability to overpower the reader with poetic embellishments. However, the words of an expert poet can inspire the heart even without resorting to literary ornaments. Just as even without bathing, a person becomes purified by glancing at the sacred river. Words remain independent and faultless until the poet combines them into verses. Similarly, even though a poetic work may be endowed with attractive ornaments, qualities, and mellows, some people will only see faults in it. One should reject such a deceitful mentality that acts only to find faults in others. O fault finder, O one with deceitful tongue, you are like a sweeper man whose only job is to clean up a place full of objects discarded by others. We, therefore, are reluctant to touch you. Deceit is like fingernails or hairs. In cutting or removing them, no one feels any pain, and when growing them, give only distress. Truly, I say that a man cannot become liberated until he gives up the quality of deceit. Now that the fault finder have duly been warned, I, Kavi Karnapur, admit that I have written Anand Vrindavan Champu for my own pleasure. Overflowing with Krishna's sweet glories, this work will saturate the mind of thirsty sadhakas with immeasurable transcendental bliss. A skillfully strung garland always looks beautiful, regardless of the number of flowers. And what more can be said if those flowers exude a sweet fragrance? The object of this poetic work is to inundate the reader with the fragrant qualities and pastimes of Sri Krishna the Beautiful. The Forest of Vrindavan. Now, I will describe the form, qualities, and position of the transcendental forest of Vrindavan, which overflows with all wonderful attributes. Though the forest of Vrindavan contains the matchless essence of the majesty of Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha Saram, there is no limit to its great sweetness, Navai Kuntasaram. Although its splendor, Vaprabhuta, seems to arise from the field of Chit Shakti or spiritual energy, it eternally manifests in newer ways, Navaprabhuta, at every moment. Though it is unadulterated, Akritakam, it is also the giver of bliss, Kritakam. Though it is perfect by the Swarup Shakti of the Lord, Prakriti Siddham, it is not created by the Maya Shakti, Aprakriti Siddham. Though its form is eternal, Nitya Bhutam, it is a dwelling place of Krishna's eternal associates, Anitya Bhutam, or a dwelling place consisting of spiritual elements. Though filled with the sweet tasting fruits and the other objects, and with varieties of rasa like Shringar Rasa, Surasa Artha. This forest is difficult to attain for the Devatas, Surasartha, though it is covered with the wonderful trees luxuriant with verdant leaves. Vipallavam. There is not the slightest possibilities of calamity or dangers. Vrindavan trees are eternally manifested and always replete with flower and fruits. Though these trees are the places of Krishna's pastime, Leela Ayatan, they are filled with branches. Ali Ila Yatan, resounding with the humming of bumblebees. Although Vrindavan is covered with many kalpavrikshas, Mandara Bahulam, it is also a pleasant place for good people. Amandaram. It is splendid with bakula trees laden with leaves and fresh flowers. Navakula. It is resplendent with tamal trees bending down in many rows. Natamala. What more can be said of Krishna's lover who are like creepers endowed with the ripe fruits of their breasts that are white from the chandan covering them and red from the scratches of their lover afflicted by the strong glows of lust. Krishna is surrounded by his beloved gopis who appear like creepers of love. Similarly, Vrindavan is decorated with a variety of splendidly beautiful trees such as tal, bale, karanja, cinnamon, and red sandalwood. As Krishna is full of mercy, Karuna, the forest is full of Karuna trees. As an assembly of sages is adorned with exalted persons like Sandalya and Lomas, similarly the forest of Vrindavan is decorated with trees of Bel, Java, Khadira, and Jatavamsi. As the battlefield is decorated with the movements of foot soldiers and elephants, Vrindavan is decorated with the branches of the Pilu, Charmi, and Kairava trees. Just as in the battle between the Kurus and the Pandavas, Arjuna covered Bhishma's body with arrows while surrounded by soldiers like Shikhandi. Vrindavan is full of Arjuna, Sara, Naga Keshara, and Bhalattaki trees and abundant peacocks. As Vrindavan is full of totally liberated Ati Mukta persons, Purushas, devoid of all lamentation, Ashoka, it is filled with trees of Ashoka, Purusha, and Ati Mukta. Although all the planets are present in Vrindavan, there are no inauspicious combinations of the Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, Rahu, or Ketu. The dazzling light of Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra ever protects and illuminates Vrindavan. Since it is the site of Krishna's eternal pastime, it is not destroyed by time or subject to material transformations. It is free from all disturbances. Though many intelligent devotees reside here, it is inaccessible to mundane scholars. Ignorant or lazy fellows cannot be seen here. Completely devoid of ignorance, the effulgent forest of Vrindavan grants liberation to all its inhabitants. If someone says that in Vrindavan we see the sun and other planets just like an ordinary place, then I say that actually all these planets are spiritual, but due to the influence of Lord's Yogamaya, they appear to be material. Thus, Vrindavan's effulgence is due to the supernatural power of its own spiritual sun, moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Ketu, Rahu, and stars. Though festivals appear at every moment, Vrindavan is beyond the influence of time. The forest of Vrindavan, which automatically nurtures good qualities within its residents, is unlimited, but it appears to be only 84 krosas in circumference. Its golden trees, bushes, and creepers sparkle like emeralds. Fragrant creepers cover the golden jewel inlaid footpaths. Some places abound in crystal trees, bushes, and creepers standing on the earth made of rubies. In other places, ruby creepers entwine crystal houses. Golden creeper embrace emerald trees, or emerald creepers surround golden trees. One can also see crystal creepers crawling up ruby trees, or ruby creepers embracing crystal trees. These incredible jewel trees have branches made of other various jewels. Many types of jeweled leaves and flowers emitting unique fragrances adorn the branches. Surrounding the base of the trees are basins of water filled by jeweled waterfalls, flowing down jeweled mountains, pouring out jeweled water. The basins are made of different kinds of jewels and decorated with jeweled birds. As much as sun sends scorching sunshine, the trees provide cooling shade. As the rays of the moon fill the mind with joy, so do the roots of the Vrindavan trees. As a cultured person is well versed in the 64 arts, the trees of Vrindavan are adorned with beautiful bark. As warriors are decorated with good character, the trees are adorned with beautiful branches. As an arrow is equipped with a beautiful feather, the trees are decorated with nice leaves. As Swarglok is resplendent with the demigods and the spring is decorated with Malati flowers, all the trees are ornamented with beautiful fragrant flowers. As Karma Yoga yields fruits to a flawless performer, and as an arrowhead has an iron tip, the trees of Vrindavan always provide abundant fruits. All these trees exist eternally. They have not grown from any seed, just as Sara trees naturally grow up in groups by Krishna's desire. The trees in Vrindavan also grow in natural clusters. Even without watering or observing any rules of arboriculture, the trees in Vrindavan produce abundant fruits and flowers. Like a perfectly composed poem or an artistic drawing, the trees of Vrindavan display a faultless excellence. Vraja's trees always contain leaves, shoots, buds, flowers, unripe, half-ripe, and fully ripened fruits at the same time. The crystal basins encircling the bases of the trees perfectly reflect the image of the trees. Though there is no water in these basins, the birds think there is, and they foolishly try to bathe there by spreading and shaking their wings and dipping their beaks. The glitter of the sapphire basins appear like the water of Yamuna being moved by the wind. The trees reflected in those basins display ecstatic symptoms as their buds stand on end when they try to embrace the waves of dark blue effulgence. Bathed in the reddish light of the ruby basins, some trees appear to be dyed red with lac, or as if the sap, rasa, of the attraction to Krishna is oozing out, having no room within their bodies. Though completely spiritual and endowed with various powers, these trees, as well as the Lord Himself, appear to be material to the mundane eye, as women decorate themselves with design drawn in sandalwood paste. The creepers of the Vrindavan are decorated with leaves and shoots. As independent women freely embrace their young lovers, the tender creeper wrap around their favorite trees. The creepers carry the heavy weight of abundant flowers like women bearing the pain of longing for their lovers. The joints of the creeper enhance their beauty and appear like devas shining in an assembly hall. Though a woman is contaminated in her period, the creeper remains pure even while flowering. Though the creeper move in crooked ways, they show not cruelty but kindness to their leaves and flowers. Though fickle, the creepers do not display the momentary brilliance of lightning but a permanent brilliance. The creepers maintain their gravity even after being repeatedly kissed by the bees. The wind blows them out, but they remain beyond anyone's touch. The splendid creepers of Vrindavan assist in Krishna's pastime and bestow a strong desire to attain the Supreme Lord. Besides the 12 major forests of Vrindavan, there are smaller forests known as Upavans. In some of these forests, there are small coconut trees having ripe coconuts lying at their roots. Using the roots as pillows, the coconut seems to be sleeping comfortably. The narrow trunk of the betel trees resemble the slim waists of young women, and their abundant fruits hang down like a woman's heavy necklaces. The narang creepers hold their cluster of ripe fruits without letting them fall to the ground. Those fruits appear like countless planets of Mars, red in color, which outshine the other planets in the sky. The lavali creepers dancing gaily in the breeze gives pleasure to the eyes. Hundreds of pomegranate trees blooming with clumps of flower add an astonishing grace to the forest. When the ripened pomegranate fruit burst open and start oozing juice, they look like an elephant's forehead dripping blood upon being clawed open by a lion. In all directions, there are thousands of red flowers filled with bees. These red flowers resemble the sindoor of the young woman's forehead. When parrots perch on the lightweight boughs of the flowers, they hang down to form natural arches. Afflictions such as hunger, thirst, illusion, old age, disease, and death are forever absent in these transcendental abodes. Sweet sap flows continuously from the plentiful date trees. Dried grass, leaves, and other debris cannot be found on the forest floor. Clusters of grapevines and many attractive groves wait to fulfill the desire of Raja's youthful gopis. Fruit bearing Shama creeper add a pleasant sight to the forest. The Kamaranga trees, with their lavish supply of fruits, look like men performing actions to attain heaven. Apsaras like Rambha, cavorting in the celestial courtyards, have shapely thighs like the trunk of banana trees that grow throughout Vrindavan's forest. Towering tal trees ornament the forest scenery, just as a variety of pleasant rhythms, talas, accent a song. Ripe jackfruits ready to fall saturate the forest air with a heady fragrance, like karmic workers waiting to descend from heaven after tasting the ripened fruit of many sacrifices. Bountiful bilva trees appear like numerous dancers in the theatrical performance. The black jama trees diminish the light of the forest as the jambu trees on Jambu Dweep reduce the effulgence of Mount Meru. As Badrik Ashram shelters the aesthetic worships of Narayan, these forests shelter many jujube orchards. The seasons of Vrindavan. The transcendental forest of Vrindavan exists beyond the reaches of the time, yet it is divided into 6 sections to display the 6 seasons. Though resembling their material counterparts, the 6 seasons of Vrindavan are completely transcendental since they nourish the spiritual bliss of Krishna's pastimes. The 6 seasons are known as the joy of monsoon, the pleasure of autumn, the satisfaction of winter, the happiness of the dewy season, the beauty of spring, and the auspicious season of summer. The monsoon season. During monsoon season, the constant torrential rain showers resemble the intense pleasure derived from the rendering pure, unalloyed devotional service. As a self realized person becomes illumined with the eternal light of bliss, this season illumines the sky with flashes of flickering lightning which satisfies the heart. The sorrowful wailing of the peacocks reminds one of Parvati's intense yearning to reunite with Shiva. Clamoring, the hookah birds mimic the conflicting arguments found in the book of logic. As Garuda is eternally endowed with the strong winds, the season eternally echoes with the cries of Chataka birds. Arjuna trees appear like a second sun to brighten all directions with their blood-red flowers. Rain showers during particular nakshatras summon effulgent emeralds appearing like tender shoots of grass. The Chamuru deer mistakes the emeralds for shoots of grass and try to nibble on them. When the Indragopa, tiny red insects, crawl on these emeralds, they appear like tiny rubies moving across a green bodice stretched across the breast of the earth. Kadamba flowers fill the air with sweet herbal aroma. Due to the constant pouring of misty rain, the air always feels cool and refreshing. The monsoon season personified exhibits various symptoms of transcendental joy. Blossoming Malti flowers provoke the earth to laughter. The trees horripilate with Kadamba birds, and the sky is pleasant with ecstatic tears dripping from the rain clouds. The forehead of the monsoon season is decorated with the tilak mark of the Indradhanu creeper. The petal of golden ketiki flowers, more brilliant than lightning, decorate her dark hair. A garland of balaka flowers hangs from her neck to rest upon the newly formed bulging clouds of her raised breasts. The rumbling clouds sound like Chataki birds crying in anguish. Please give us rain and save our lives. The clouds answer, "Do not lament, I will rain now." The thundering clouds sound like a revolving grinding stone powdering a man's pride. The deep growl of the clouds sounds like a mridanga imitating the dancing of a love intoxicated peacock, or the alluring chanting of mantras by a woman separated from her lover's embrace. The monsoon season abounds with a symphony of sounds. Everywhere Chataka birds call, Tithi birds chirp, Daduri birds cry, peacocks wail piteously, clouds roar, and raindrops pitter patter. The melody of the sweet sound is just suitable for lulling a woman to sleep after enjoying her lover. The nourishing waters of this season beautify all the trees and gardens. The abundant ripened fruits of the mango trees tint the center of the forest with a golden glow. Surrounding this area is a blackish aura created by the ripe jama fruits. Beyond this lies a pale yellow effulgence produced by a sharp, needle like leaves and flowers of the ketki trees. With all these colorful hues, the garden of Vrindavan appears as beautiful as a painting. The autumn season. The splendorous season of the autumn is characterized by lakes full of deep blue water, filled with red lotus flowers that look like the lotus feet of Vishnu being caressed by the loving lotus hands of Lakshmi. Brimming with water, these lakes are as clean and pure as the sinless heart of a devotee, aspiring for prema. As Narayan is beautified by the presence of the joyful goddess of fortune, similarly, the autumn lakes are beautified by the presence of Chakravaka birds and blossoming lotuses. Groups of lazy swans sport freely in the lakes. Gliding along the water, they resemble liberated souls, Paramhamsas, swimming in the ocean of spiritual bliss. The cooing herons appear to be echoing the tales of Ram and Lakshman. Blue lotuses please everyone with the splendid fragrance, spreading through the land like the fame of all attractive lord. The white lotuses, Pundrika, ornamenting the lake are like the elephant Pundrika who decorates the southeast direction. The bees ravage the honey of the Kumuda lotuses growing in the lake. Just as they enjoy the liquid oozing from the body of the Kumuda, the elephant of the southwest direction. Red lotuses cast their colors across the autumn lakes like the setting sun coloring the evening sky with its pastel pinks. Like an impassioned lady, the autumn season holds these lakes, the reservoir of all beauty, to their chest in love. The autumn moon shines brilliantly like a glinting sword unsheathed before battle. As Dharma fully manifests in Satyug, the bulls, as representative of religion, manifest a type of madness during this season, as they turn every field into playground. The large lakes of this season are very beautiful with warm water on their surfaces and cool water within. They resemble a peaceful man who keeps cool within even when harassed by words of a fool. The rows of brilliant wispy crowds adorning the autumn sky looks like sandalwood paste on the limbs of the directions personified as women. These cloud wisps appear like the white scarf of a young woman waving in the breeze, or cotton fluff carried by the winds personified as young girls. When the groups of pure white clouds reflect in the Yamuna, it appears like a brilliant white sandbar in the middle of the river, or that the Ganga has taken shelter of Yamuna to gain the fortune of bathing Krishna. Three wonderful features fill the autumn season with bliss, namely the fragrant pollen from the blooming lotuses, the directions becoming darkened from the swarms of bees maddened by the intoxicating fragrance of the chatina tree, and the wind driven clouds moving like freely roaming elephants. The autumn season can be seen as a beautiful woman whose waist belt is the cooling herons, whose ankle bells are the sonorous quacking of the ducks, whose breasts are the chakravaka birds, whose moon-like face is the half-blooming lotuses, whose eyes are the blue lotuses, whose eyebrows are the fickle peas, and whose attractive garments are the pollens from the various flowers. When the mud, kardama, dries up, this season becomes blissful with the sight of the faces of many brown calves, kapilas. Similarly, when the Kardama Muni renounces his home, Devahuti took pleasure in seeing the face of her son, Kapildev. This season is like the king who has flower bed in the middle of the forest of the land lotuses. Its canopy is the sky overhead sparkling with the constellation. Its chamara whisks are the swaying of the tall kasa flowers. In the monsoon season, the elephants of the directions jump on the clouds and push them down so that the sky appears to touch the treetops. On the other hand, when the tree branches become free of these clouds, it seems the elephant of the directions have departed. In their absence, the space above the trees increases. The Hemant season, early winter. The sweet fragrance of Mahasaha flowers characterizes the early winter season. Just as Arjuna is dear to Madhusudan, similarly, this season with its blooming Arjuna trees is very dear to Madhusudan, the honeybees. Yellow jinti flowers add additional splendor. Just as Shiva protected Banasura, the son of Bali, similarly, this season gives shelter to the blue jinti flowers. Just as Mount Kailash holds Shiva and Parvati, this season supports the shining Lodhra tree. Sukhdev, the son of Vyas, spoke the verses of Bhagavad in many sweet tunes. Similarly, this season resounds with the mellifluous cries of many happy sukhas, parrots. Haritala birds give life to the season with their phenomenal speaking abilities, just as Harita Muni propounded the Ayurveda. Just as a moment Lavamatra of Sadhu Sang removes false ego and gives one bliss, the presence of lover birds in this season brings great joy to all. Just as devotees of the Lord attains peace by the strength of his worship, similarly the bodies of water in early winter gradually becomes cool from the soft footsteps of the approaching cold season. The lotuses decrease in number and the nights gradually increase in the length. There is no fault in this, however, because the gopis rejoice during the long winter nights. Everyone enjoys the brief morning hours touched by the weekend rays of the sun. The female deer, thinking it is the rays of the rising sun, becomes joyful for a short time upon seeing the ruby-studded earth. The deer, thinking them to be cool rays of the moon, avoid the areas filled with bright crystal gems. What more can be said? Frightened by the cold season, Surya Bhagwan, the sun god, retreats to the southeast corner and the lotuses disappear. Female Chamuru deer glance about and wander here and there. Sometimes they mistake the emerald lying on the ground to be fresh sprouts of barley. The astonished eyes of the deer resemble the doe-eyed gopis of the Vrindavan. Frost competes with the heat of the sun for sovereignty over the earth. When the frost increases, the heat of the sun retreats, and when the heat of the sun increases, the frost retreats. Love pangs increase the breast of the unmarried girls during the long winter nights, whereas the married gopis avoid the pain by willingly accepting the loving advances of their husbands. Pearl ornaments, being cold by nature, do not adorn the gorgeous gopis at this time, but they do decorate their hair with kurubak flowers and rub pollen from the lodra flowers into it. Mahasaha flowered garlands hang across their budded breasts. Saffron ointments, which heat the body, serve as cosmetics. Heavy clouds of incense fill the pastime cottages, and the heating spices enhance the tambula. Throughout the Hemant season, the gopis refrain from mentioning any object reminding them of cold. The dewy season. During the dewy season, the Dupharia flowers blossom, reminding one of the happiness felt upon the arrival of a good friend. As Vishkarma moves the sun around the zodiac, the Kunda flowers begin blossoming. Vaikuntanath dominates the demons in the same way as the new Damanaka flowers dominate this season. Just as a downpour satisfied the cranes inhabiting the dry lands, similarly, the appearance of the fragrant marubak flowers bring happiness to all. Just as the ever-increasing glories of Ramchandra ornamented the battle of Sri Lanka, the brightness of the dewy days increase at every moment to decorate the season. The welcome rays of sun increase the joy of all by chasing away the chill. Leaving its southern course, the sun proceeds northwards like a person renouncing his wife to follow the path of self-discovery. The mist rising from the ponds, rivers, and canals looks like effulgent rays coming from the hidden underwater jewels. Young female deer mistake it for smoke and assume the water is on fire. While looking at the splendid rising sun, the young deer becomes stunned and stop eating and drinking. Out of stupidity, they take the sun to be blazing fireball and see dewdrops on the grass as pearls dropped in their grazing grounds. Suradev's gentle touch gradually dissolves the dew and the mist. Dense foliage overhead prevents accumulation of dew beneath the tall, luxuriant trees. In the evening, handsome bucks sit beneath these trees and ruminate without the fear of cold. The setting sun appears like a glowing hot iron ball sinking into the water and giving off steam. Birds cry out as they flee from the darkness. Without talking to their mates, they sleep comfortably amidst the lush growth of beautiful trees. Due to the cold, the chakora birds cease flying in the rays of the moon. Lovers ponder sleeping blissfully in the deep embraces. The long nights favor extended conversations as the rush to sleep recedes. The gopis gives up cosmetics like kumkum that obstruct a lover's closeness. The loving embraces of husbands and wife produce pleasant sensations. Although the season brings biting cold, the warmth of the love prevents the pain. Lotuses cannot bloom in this season. In the morning, the women of Vrindavan who are endowed with good qualities warm up their backs by exposing them to the sun. Bandhuja garlands adorn their hairs, Damanaka leaves hang from their ears, and Kundaroka garlands lie on their chests. As previously mentioned, they do not wear any pearl jewelry at this time of the year. The spring season. Mango trees laden with new buds announce the arrival of spring. The sight is as pleasing as the union of lovers instigated by fresh longing. Blossoming Madhavi creepers appear along the pathways. As a sadhaka sometimes sighs while traversing the path of self realization. Ashok trees, exploding with splendid red flowers, dry away all lamentation, like the Lord's devotees who have transcended the misty covering of hankering and lamentation. The clumps of fresh buds on the Kanchana trees appear like groups of famous pandits studying the scriptures. The groves of betel trees look like group of mad elephants in great contingents bent on war. Sweet-scented mandarai trees add more beauty to the season. These trees appear like intoxicated men sauntering about after drinking liquor. Cuckoos play about the trees like the restless monkeys in Ramachandra's phalanx. Lingering in the air is the fine scent of clove trees, fleeting like the happiness derived from material pleasures. The large number of bakula trees appear like the strong men serving in the dynasty of Ishwaku. Creepers of the blooming Malika flowers beautify the landscape, just as the seven notes embellish the musical scale. Flowering Karira trees fill the air with an intoxicating aroma, like the liquid flowing from the heads of love crazed elephants. Flower scented breezes ascend the spring season, just as lust agitates a materially attached man. Moon rays increase their brilliance with the departure of the cold and embrace the spring nights like a person derived from death. While the springtime moon glistens sweetly in the clear skies above, the young gopis enjoy sweet pastimes in the groves below. When the soft breezes caresses the sweet fragrance within the grooves, the gopis come to gather flowers. Attracted by the beauty of the unlimited flowers on the earth, playful Krishna, wearing a golden necklace, attains the height of bliss from seeing the gopis in their prime of youth. Dense swarms of hummingbees, eager to taste the pollen of lotuses, darken the sky as they speed toward the flower. But seeing the bees bypass them, the lotus flowers argue among themselves. Why not drink from me first? Have I committed any offense to you? Though the flowers offer their pollens to the bees do not accept. Instead, they become intoxicated by the smelling fragrance from the lotus mouths of the Vraja gopis, whose hearts overflow with intense feeling of love. Seeing the palash trees devoid of leaves, the bees conjecture, what happened to the palash groves? They are as dry as parrot's beak. What else can be said? In this season, the cuckoos, truly the embodiment of primordial sound, open their beak to taste the mango and then begin to coo. At this time, the bees inside the mango buds come out to take rest. The best of the maddened elephants roam about with the intoxicating gopis of Vraja, whose sweet whispering defeats the soothing sound of the running water. The cuckoos resound like a bell to announce their arrival. Spring personified looks attractive with her beautiful Nagesara flower earrings, Madhavi creeper's neck jewelry, Malati flowers adorning her breast, red Palash bindu, Champak flower bodice, and a red Ashoka flower sash around her waist. Various types of tinty creepers appear at this time of the year, which smile with their glittering flowers, cry tears of love in form of dripping honey nectar, and horripilate with new buds. The summer season. Blossoming Sirisa trees announce the arrival of summer season. They make Vrindavan look like the land of Kashmir, which abounds in colorful flowers giving fragrance throughout the year. Happy Malika ducks cruise along the brimming lakes just as golden ripe paddy beautifies the autumn season. Similarly, the fully blossomed patala flowers add a special splendor to the summer season. The flowering Kutaja trees appear like the joyful playground of Lord Indra. Satapatraka birds highlight the season, just as the blooming lotuses decorate a lake, just as a smoke on the mountain infers the presence of fire. Similarly, the sighting of finger birds indicate the arrival of auspicious summer season. As the majestic king Virochan illuminated the dynasty of Prahlad, similarly the sun shines brightly at this time. Just as Vaishnavas attain relief from material distress by attaining the lotus feet of Vishnu, similarly the cooling rays of moon give great relief from the scorching heat of the day. Devotees of the Lord find joy by absorbing themselves in His humble service, just as one finds happiness by taking a cool bath in summer. One's sins gradually diminish in the association of devotees. Similarly, the length of nights gradually decrease in the presence of summer. As everyone in the universe can find pleasure by serving Lord Hari, similarly, every living entity relishes the pleasant breeze of summer. Pious people derive full satisfaction by spending money on their loved ones. By applying substance such as sandalwood pulp, one feels immense pleasure in this season. Due to the fatal threat of hot sweat, coolness flees from all directions and take shelter in the fortress of Gopi's breast. To find relief from the intense heat, the creepers and the trees fan each other by slowly moving their twigs and branches. Mercy manifests in the cool water flowing in the jeweled basins below the shady trees. As a host carefully tends to his guests, the summer offered these cooling basins to attentively serve its birds and beasts. In the same way that pious gentlemen provide the needy, the shady trees relieve everyone from the heat of summer. The streams of water flowing from the top of the jeweled mountains extinguish the fiery heat caused by the harsh rays of Suryakant jewels. Krishna and the gopis, their ankle bells chiming sweetly, hold hands as they meander along the cool forest path under the shady trees. Summer sends scorching hot winds that make one feel he is breathing poison filled air. Not finding any abatement from the heat by contacting the bodies of the water, the wind tries to touch the cool fragrance residing in the breasts of the gopis. Besides beautifying the night, the summer moon brings full satisfaction to all. Due to the intense suffering experienced every day, the very word daytime insists fear in the heart. But everyone appreciates the cool night of summer. In this way, the summer is glorified. Amidst the lotus flower in the lake, there is a houseboat covered with a canopy trimmed with the hanging pearls that shake in the wind. It is sprayed by a mist scented with the fine particles of camphor and buffeted by the pleasant winds of chamaras waved by loving attendants. Radhika and Krishna sleep in blissful reverie within that charming houseboat. The summer finds Sri Hari wearing a strand of large pearls bordering his hairline from forehead, while his shimmering golden dhoti blows in the wind. Garlands of malika buds, cooling flower ornaments, and sandalwood paste adorn his attractive transcendental form. As embodiments of the summer season, the gopis are decorated with ear ornaments of sirisa flowers, crowns of patala flowers, garland of malika flowers, and bracelets of kutaja flowers. At the end of the day, gopis and the flower-filled forest of Vrindavan serve the lotus feet of Krishna. The 6 seasons of Vrindavan. 6 distinct seasons manifest in Vrindavan, plus 3 seasons appearing in pairs as autumn and winter, dewy and spring, summer and monsoon. In this way, Vrindavan features 9 seasonal forests, but actually 10 seasonal divisions exist in Vrindavan. The 6 different seasons, the 3 combination, and the 6th season at once. In the 10th forest, all 6 seasons at once, the youthful gopis take fresh kadamba flowers from the rainy season and fix them in their hair parts. They twirl autumn season lotuses in the petals of their fingers, smear the pollen of winter lodhra flowers on their cheeks, and put bandhuli flowers from the dewy season around their neck. They place bunches of ashoka buds from the spring over their ears and entwine the malika garlands in their hairs from the summer season. Every day, the Vraja gopis beautifully decorate themselves with this to worship their beloved Lord Krishna. The ever increasing natural beauty of the forest, kunjas, rivals majestic houses made of priceless jewels. The sweet sound of bees and cuckoos echo through the kunjas that are lit by phosphorescent vines. Musk deer scent the air, and chamari cows clean the forest floor with their bushy tails. The Yamuna River. The famous river Yamuna flows through the Vrindavan forest like a garland of blue lotuses, a moat of kajal, a dark blue sari, or a necklace of blue sapphire around the neck of Vrinda Devi, the presiding deity of Vrindavan. Though agitated with waves, the Yamuna holds unlimited lotus flowers in her pure water and always give premanand to the devotees. Herons continually play in their water and delighted fish swim in large schools. Yamuna grants happiness to everyone who surrenders to her or bathes in her sacred waters. Yamuna is resplendent with multicolored bodies composed of many tiny Saivala creepers floating on her surface. The male and female Chakravaka birds form her breasts. Her colored dress is composed of the pollen from the white lotuses. A swarm of meandering bumblebees serves as her hair braid. She has blue lotus eyes, red lotus lips, and a face of blooming lotuses. Her hips are her wide banks decorated with a belt of herons. Sonorous geese sing as her ankle bells. Yamuna Devi, the personification of bliss, worships Krishna by constantly offering him lotus flowers with her fickle wave like hands. The flower filled trees on her banks reflect in the water to appear like a second blossoming forest. Seeing the reflection of birds in the water, the foolish fish come there and nibble at them. At the night, when they see the reflection of stars on the water, the small fish, mistaking them for food, swim up to the surface and try to eat them. The shimmering white banks of the Yamuna appear like streams of camphor or attractive lightning flash in the dark, or sandalwood paste smeared on the limbs of Vrinda Devi, or Malti garlands in the braids of a woman. On these banks stand flower beds situated between emerald green stripes of grass. Attractive kunjas and many beautiful subforests containing Chintamani cottages also line the Yamuna banks. Parrots, cuckoos, chakoras, and water birds such as ducks, herons, sarasis, kurasis, chakravaka move about the courtyards surrounding these Chintamani cottages singing happily. They appear like a group of Rasika devotees discussing the delightful pastimes of Krishna. Bathing ghats made of rubies, coral, emeralds, and Vedura gems line the Yamuna shores. These ghats appear like the embodiment of auspiciousness. The four tall trees forming the corners of the forest cottages have many leafy branches that hang down to make a natural canopies. Two creepers wind around each of these trees to appear like a pair of embracing lovers. The creeper entangle with their flowers, leaves, and fruits to make a wonderful sight. Flowering creepers comprise the wall of pastime cottages. The entwined branches of various creepers form the cottage doors that are surrounded by other fragrant creepers. Varieties of colorful flowers hang down to make the dome above the cottages. Dangling flower creepers move as natural chamara fans. The glories of Govardhan. An exquisite line of mountains called Govardhan stretches down the middle of Vrindavan. Giriraj's thousands of peaks appear like the thousands of hands and feet of the Purusha avatar. Many smaller hills surround these peaks, and many jeweled plateaus and lakes like Radhakund provide additional beauty. In this way, Giriraj appears just like a romantic hero decorated with many jeweled bracelets and earrings. Just as Giriraj contains many mineral dhatus of red clay and arsenics. Similarly, the Sanskrit language features a variety of word roots, dhatus. By the Lord's grace, Dhruva travelled beyond Maharlok. Similarly, by the mercy of Lord, Govardhan has surpassed the splendor of Vaikuntha and became famous as the best of the mountains. Just as Kartikeya, the commander who is difficult to conquer, supports the king of heaven, Govardhan holds many difficult to enter caves. Many snakes surround the valuable sandalwood trees adorning the Malaya mountain, but there are no snakes guarding the unlimited treasure found on Govardhan hill. Lord Shiva holds the moon in his top knot, but Giriraj peaks touch the moon. Shiva is fearsome, but Govardhan is kind and gentle. As Krishna is adorned with the forest garlands that reach to his ankles, Govardhan is decorated with long line of forests. Cascading waterfalls caresses all sides of Govardhan. Bhumandal is made pleasant by the Loka Loka mountain range, whereas Govardhan pleases the eyes of all devotees. Govardhan is made gorgeous by banyan trees that distribute joy to everyone. The interiors of this cave are the embodiments of bliss. It is Govardhan's nature to protect the deer and the other forest creatures. Mount Kailash, Mount Meru, or even the best of the metaphors cannot compare with the unlimited glories of Govardhan. Kailash is composed of silver and golden. Mount Meru is born of the material nature. They pale in comparison with Govardhan, which is eternally manifested and made of inconceivable precious jewels. Just as dancers enhance the sweetness of the theatrical performances, the Sonalu trees increase the sweetness of seeing Govardhan Hill. The streams flowing by the roots of many sandalwood trees growing there pick up the divine fragrance and pass it to the valleys and grass growing on Govardhan. When all the different animals such as Rurus, Chamaras, Gavayas, Gandharvas, Smaras, Rohisas, Sasa, and Sambaras bathe in the parrot green colored stream flowing under the densely foliated green trees. They appear to be made of emeralds. No one can tell whether they are real animals or made out of green jewels. The crystal rocks of Govardhan reflect the blue rays of its sapphire to appear like Balaram dressed in blue cloth. The large emeralds reflecting the golden rocks look like Narayan adorned in his golden dhoti. The yellow sapphire platforms standing on beds of diamond appear like Shiva and Gauri. The waterfalls pouring over the emerald cliff look like the Lord Rama carrying his curved bow. The ruby platforms standing of silver bases appear like Brahma mounted on his swan. The clear waterfalls rapidly falling from the tall peaks of Govardhan carry the reflections of many multicolored jewels and appear like long rainbows. The light coming from various stones and jewels in the plateaus reflect in the sky like a rainbow. The effulgence from the peak of Vaduria gems appears like the tail of comet striking over Govardhan or like a flock of flying grey birds. Govardhan offers many thrones made of cooling stones for the sitting pleasure of Krishna. Its flat, jewel studded areas await to serve Krishna's rasa dance. Its wonderful caves looks more enchanting than temples made of jewels. For serving Krishna, there are many flower canopies that pour down fragrant pollen when shaken by the wind. The dense cool forest provide soothing relief from the hot sun. Animals such as deers and tigers live there in peace and harmony. The glories of Nandishwar. Not far from Govardhan stands Nandishwar Hill, which is the second body of Lord Shiva. Dava trees and the blissful pastimes of Madhava fill Nandishwar with splendor. The parrots perched in the palash trees vibrate sweet music throughout the day. Beautiful peaks of varying heights decorate its skyline. An abundance of roots, herbs, and delicious fruits awaits the eager hands of a carefree cowherd boys. Just as Vamana's steps brought the Ganga down on Shiva's head, similarly, the water flowing down from the caves nourishes the fennel shrubs growing on the side of Nandishwar hill. As gentle behavior can break the pride of a coarse man, the thick growth of yellow jinti flowers growing on its slopes overpowers the red colored rocks of Nandishwar hill. Lord Shiva always holds Parvati on his lap, and this mountain always holds Shilajit in its crevices. The splendid capital of Nanda Baba rests atop Nandishwar hill. In this place, the syllable khala, deceitful, is only found in words such as mekhala, shrinkhala, and ulukhala. The syllable, however, is never used alone because there are no deceitful people in Nand Maharaj's capital. The word Matsara, my lake, is used to describe one's own lake, but it is not used to describe envy, Matsara, because this place is devoid of envy. The word Doshkara, having faults, is used to describe the moon and nothing else because there are no Doshkara, faulty people in Nandishwar. The syllable mala, dirt, is used only in such words as parimala, fragrance, and shamala, blackish, but it is not used separately to connote mala, filth, because everything there is nirmala, pure and spotless. The word danda, rod, is used only to connote the handle of a chamara or an umbrella, but it does not connote punishment, danda, because there are no punishable people there. The word bandha, knot or bound, is used only to describe the knots of clothing, but it does not mean imprisoned, bandha, because no one here deserves to be tied up. The word punk mud is used only to describe cosmetics like kumkum and chandan because there is no mud there. The word adhi, mental distress, is used only in such words as samadhi and upadhi because there is no such thing as mental distress here. The word pidha, anguish or group, is seen only in such words as kushuma pidha, flower chaplet, because there is no pain or agony in Nandishwar. The word kutila, crooked, is used only to refer the hair locks or one's glances because there are no crooked or deceitful people here. The word chanchalata, greedy or unsteady, is used only in relation to necklaces or the edge of clothing which moves back and forth in anticipation of meeting Krishna. It is not used in reference to unsteadiness of the mind because there are no unsteady people here. The word rag is used only to describe the reddish color of the feet and hands and not to describe material attachments. The word madhya, middle, mediocre, is used only to describe the waist because everything in the spiritual world is uttama, topmost. The word palita, white, is used only to describe a pala, measurement, and not describe white hair because no one grow old here. The word raja is used only in describing pollen flowers or the dust of a cow, and not in a words like rajaguna because there are no passionate peoples here. The word tama, darkness, is used only to describe darkness and not to refer to tamaguna, ignorance, because ignorance cannot be found. The word kathina, hard, is used to describe jewels and gold and not to refer to the people because everyone is very soft and gentle. The words dwanda, pair, argument is used to refer to a couple of people and not to an argument because there are no arguments. The word manda, gentle, is used only to refer to the wind and not with such words as mandabhagya, unfortunate, because there are no unfortunate people here. The word shnita, thin, decrease, refer to the waist of young ladies and not to used elsewhere because everything is always increasing in Nandagram. The word chanchala, fickleness, refers only to the movement of the eyes because everyone here is thira, steady. The word glani, exhaustion, sankha, worry, danya, low, misery, and vishada, lamentation, are used only to describe the static states within bhav and not elsewhere because there are no material conditions of exhaustion, worry, and so on here. The word chidra, hole, or faults is only used to describe the holes in a flute or a pearl because it is not used to describe people because there are no faulty people. The word tikshnata, sharp, is used only to describe glances and nothing else. The word katuta, pungent, bitter, is used only in relation to particular spiritual emotional states and not elsewhere. The word samanya, ordinary, similarity, is only used to describe the similarity of objects because there is nothing ordinary about Nandishwar. The word durvarna, low quality, impurity, is used only to describe impurity in metals because there are no low class people here. Although all peoples of Nandishwar appear to exhibit temporary qualities such as youth and old age to facilitate their individual rasas, they are actually all liberated souls. Their so called youth and old age are beyond the transformations of time. A high, insurmountable wall appearing like the glow of the dawn surrounds all the smaller towns that comprise Nanda Maharaj's capital. The main gateway are huge, jewel studded doors. These towns appear like festive arenas with canopies and colorful jeweled festoon hanging from the archways. Just as Suryadev has many large horses shining like diamonds, similarly, Nandishwar is full of broad sparkling roadways. Just as the dancing of Shiva includes happiness, the sight of many huge palaces brings joy to the heart. The many small, attractive temples appear as radiant as the rising sun. Their brilliant golden rooftops rival the splendorous yellow cloth of the Lord Narayan. Beautiful strands of pearls hang from the cornices. The pinnacles of the rooftops drive away all fear, just as the chakora birds eagerly drink the rays of moon. Similarly, the effulgence of the moonstones forming the edge of the rooftops attract the chakora birds. The jewel-studded verandas surrounding the palaces appear like glittering mountains of jewels. The sacrificial arena of the palaces are adorned with the flower garlands that resemble Lord Shiva accompanied by his decorated wife Parvati. Amongst all the towns, Nanda's village is the chief. The town wall is made of sapphires and the house are made of emeralds. The golden rooftops, coral pillars, crystal walls, cat eyes tower, sapphire, sitting platforms, and the huge doors studded with large blue sapphires astound the eyes with beauty. The stunning opulence of Nandishwar puts to shame the brilliant palaces of the demigods. When the pet parrots make friends with sculpted parrots standing on the jeweled walls, the delighted women cannot tell them apart. In their bewilderment, they offer pomegranate seeds to the sculpted parrots instead of the real ones. Nand Maharaj, the king of Vrindavan, resides in this town as the embodiment of paternal affection, manifesting the pure nature of the soul. He is the essence of all auspiciousness, a veritable island amidst an ocean of bliss. By assuming the role of Krishna's father, which he plays eternally, he has become endowed with all auspicious qualities. His wife, Yashoda, resides in Nandishwar as the embodiment of maternal affection, acting like a desire creeper offering the darshan of Krishna. As a beautiful flower spreads its fragrance in all directions, the effulgence of Yashoda's fame illuminates her entire dynasty. Hundreds of honest and gentle cowherd men live in this capital city. They are not attached to their families, but they are completely attached to Krishna. Although they diligently care for their domestic animals and maintain themselves by trading in milk and yogurt, they exist totally in the spiritual world. A few of the cowherd men are intimate relatives of Nanda Maharaj, but all of them are closely related to each other. Hundreds of honest and gentle cowherd men live in this capital city. They are not attached to their families, but they are completely attached to Krishna. The husbands embody religious principles and the wife embody devotional feelings. Their sons are Krishna's cowherd boyfriends and their daughter are his dearest lovers. Like the four Kumaras, all Krishna's friends are eternally youthful. As flock of birds decorate a forest, Krishna is surrounded by friends of the same age. Krishna and his friends have a very close and intimate relationship resembling the intimacy of flowers strung on a thread. Just as autumn lakes appear clear and joyous, and the dynasty of Brihaspati shines with glory, similarly the blissful boyfriends of Krishna have clear eyes and brilliantly effulgent hair. With their musk and sandal scented bodies, Krishna's associates look as beautiful as Supatrika, the elephant who holds up the northeast corner. Blossoming lotus give pleasure in the autumn season, but the smiling lotus face of Krishna's boyfriends bring happiness at all times. The well-proportioned ears of the boys resemble perfectly arranged melodies. With their elegantly shaped noses, the boys smell the wonderful fragrance of the Vrindavan's flower. The eyes of the cowherd boys flit about like the fickle movements of the spots on a glamorous dice. Their handsome and resplendent necks stand out distinctively like Sugriva radiating amongst Rama's legions of monkey soldiers. Their long, beautiful arms rival the trunk of baby elephant. Like the ever-increasing waves of the milk ocean, the chests of the boys are always swelling with happiness. The waists of the boys are as firm as the sides of an elephant. Krishna's friends have very strong thighs that give joy to everyone. They walk on their bare feet, which are as tender as the rays of the moon. The cowherd boys of Vrindavan far surpasses the demigods and they exist eternally as Krishna's beloved associates. Subala, Shridam, Sudama and Vasudama are some of Krishna's intimate boyfriends. Now, the intimate girlfriends of Krishna will be described. The delicate feet of Krishna. The delicate feet of Krishna's gopi resemble poetry full of wonderful rhymes. Their slender ankles move with the speed of the mind. As Sita achieved all auspiciousness by obeying the commands of Lakshmana, the gopis have become all auspicious because of the incredible beauty of their knees. The thighs of the gopis conquer the splendor of broad trunks of banana trees used to decorate a festive site. The thighs of gopis conquer the splendor of the broad trunks of banana trees used to decorate a festive site. The sweetness of their graceful hips is more inspiring than the expert commentaries on difficult passages of the scriptures. As one cries upon meeting a long lost friend, seeing their charming bellies, which are shaped like a banyan leaves, brings tears of joy to the eyes. Just as repeated chanting of the holy name makes one fearless, the delightful navels of the gopis are endowed with repeated turns. As Krishna is inclined to give mercy to the fallen, he is also very attracted to the thin waists of the gopis. The sweet breasts of the gopis defeat the beauty of the cloud in the monsoon season. As the winter season is endowed with long nights, the gopis have long graceful arms. Their throats have three attractive lines resembling a conch shell. As Lakshmi Devi's face is wiped by the fingers of Narayan, the gopis' faces are tenderly wiped by the fingers of Krishna. Their noses surpass the beauty of sesame flowers, whose fragrance enhances the elegance of spring. Their captivating lotus eyes resemble the merciful glances of the Lord blessing the word. With their beautiful ears, they always drink the sweet nectar of Harikatha. The splendid curls in their hairs put to shame the effulgence of Kuvera's golden city. The hairstyle of the gopis are more attractive than the western direction that is skillfully designed by Varuna, its presiding deity. Srimati Radharani reigns as the best of Krishna's beloved gopis. This beautiful young girl is resplendent with all good qualities such as mercy, sweetness, and vitality. As the crest jewels among Krishna's lover, she possesses all ornaments and all types of emotional mellows. Radhika is the light of the moon of bliss. Her slender arms conquer the pride of Cupid. Radharani is the splendorous essence of ocean of loveliness and the enchanting smile of those intoxicated by love. She is a mine of 64 arts and the precious crest jewel of all good qualities. Radhika's complexion is more golden than 1,000 Parvatis. Radhika is also called Shyama, which means her transcendental body is warm in the winter and cool in the hot season. Her breasts are firm, full, slightly raised, and very beautiful. Although existing since time immemorial, Radhika is ever fresh young girl. Radharani is the epitome of beauty and the life and soul of her girlfriends. Though just an innocent young girl, Radharani controls all the goddesses of fortunes in the universe. Learned Pandits call her Mahalakshmi, Tantrics call her Leela Shakti, and Bhaktas call her Ladini Shakti. Radhika is ornamented by her dear friends who display all good qualities and move as her reflections. Among all the young gopis, there is one group leader named Chandravali, who is the crest jewel of dalliance. She bestows the bliss of million moons. As the material nature is endowed with qualities of passion and ignorance, Chandravali has all good qualities. Just as the eye has the nature to see forms, similarly, her form is the natural embodiment of beauty. The essence of water is taste, rasa, and she is the essence of all the rasa. Just as the flower distributes their fragrance to everyone, Chandravali gives bliss to all. Padma, Sabya, and others serve as her dearest companions. There is another gopi group leader named Shama Sakhi who is very dear to Radhika. Chandravali, therefore, though very prominent, is merely another gopi group leader amongst the Vraja gopis. All the Brahmanas living in Nanda Baba's capital embody the principle of Bhagavad Dharma. They are extremely merciful and always display sense and mind control, tolerance and renunciation. With great skill, they recite Shastras like the Bhagavad and always study the Narad Pancharatrika and other Vedic works that corroborate the Bhagavad. They alone qualify for Nand Maharaj's charity and only they perform the appropriate rituals and ceremonies. Some of these Brahmanas worship the Aishwarya aspect of Krishna and others adore the Madhurya feature of the Lord. After thorough study of the 18 branches of the knowledge, they have become genuinely peaceful and fixed in their own realizations. It is not surprising that they have never been defeated in debate. Though possessing abundant wealth, they always remain humble and exhibit gentle behavior, friendship, kindness, and all compassion to one and all. Their transcendental attributes are not byproducts of material goodness, passion, or ignorance. What more can be said of their exalted spiritual stature? Although the oil sellers, tambula salesmen, goldsmiths, pot makers, weavers, and blacksmiths have spiritual forms, they behave like ordinary humans. Commanding the respect of all pious men, they freely distribute their wealth wherever needed. They do not have material bodies, nor they experience the suffering of ordinary mortals. The bees of the monsoon season give joy to all the flowers, yet others do not appreciate them. They resemble Vrindavan's Pulinda women, who are also not much appreciated, but because of their devotion, they have secured the praises of the demigods. Rows of huge goshalas spread out in all directions in Nanda Maharaj's capital. The four long crystal walls of these goshalas are topped with emerald beams and golden cross beams that extend beyond the walls. In all corners are ruby cornices firmly attached to the emerald beams. The rooftops have sparkling jeweled surfaces which make them look like the jeweled mountain peaks. Just as a wise man is without pride, these goshalas are devoid of pillar. As the intelligence of a friendly person is pure and broad, the goshalas are very clean and expansive. Just as king's palace has numerous doors, the goshalas have many splendid doors, and they are dust-free and devoid of breezes. Standing in the yards of the goshalas are the best of the cows, which are as white as the full moon and have horns as dark as pearls of blue sapphire. The thick, bushy tails of these cows resemble the long hair of the ladies of Vrindavan. Upon seeing Krishna, the cows overwhelmed with joy and lifts up their tails. This looks as splendid as the effulgence of Bhagavan's chakra as it cuts down the demon. Just as a person bows down to respect the holy waters of Tirtha, similarly the heads of the cows hang down due to their heavy, thick folds of skin under their necks. Their full milk bags resemble the rotund body of Ganesh. Like the minds, these cows are independent and cannot be easily bound. Sadhakas gain happiness by engaging in austerities, and the cows feel delighted when they are milked. The cows of Vrindavan are called Kamdhenus because they fulfill all desires just like Chintamani gems. As the summer season is ornamented with blooming Kutaja flowers, the cows are decorated with happy calves. Literary embellishments increase the sweetness of skillfully written poems. Similarly, the varieties of multicolored cows beautify the goshalas. The goshalas are alive with herds of calves jumping about. These Adorable calves look like clumps of foam from the milk ocean, spots of moonlight cast on the ground, or like ice blounders from Mount Kailash tumbling along the earth. They are the purest of offering to the demigods. The huge bulls look like crystal boulders or big waves in the ocean of yogurt. Sleeping peacefully in their pens, they look like ancient sages in meditation. Like liberated souls, they freely wander here and there. Their huge horns resemble the tusks of directional elephants. The high humps on their backs resemble the parasol and fans held above a king. With their red eyes and slow movements, they appear stunned like intoxicated persons. When the bulls let out a loud bellow, it sounds like the boisterous talk of proud men. The skin folds flapping around their necks resemble the long blankets draped over the backs of renunciates. Due to the reflecting the light from the domes of the jeweled palaces, it looks like their horns are multicolored. When a whirlwind stirs up jeweled earth to cover the bulls with jeweled dust, they appear distinguished like the personification of Dharma. All the cows of Vrindavan are expansions from Goloka. The capital of Nand Maharaj is decorated with rows of shops made of jewels, which spread out from the crossroad in neat rows. They are equipped with many bright flags that appear like the victory flags of the triumphant king. As oysters are decorated with pearls, the shops are ornamented with long strands of pearls. These shops, which have wide verandas, resemble the thick new leaves appearing in the spring, are the dwelling places of the merchants. Some shops smell like the spring season, and the others are scented with sandalwood, agaru, and kasturi, just the ointments on lovers' chest. Some shops are heavy with the scent of ripe paddy fields, and others are as effulgent as mine of jewels. Surrounding the towns are many rows of small forest groves filled with varieties of multi-hued trees, resembling beaches covered with colorful coral. Just as the commander is equipped with many types of elephants and troops, these forests have many types of kunjas and bowers. With their many dangling creepers, the forest's renunciates engaged in austerities. Just as Rasikas derive pleasure from the playful pastime of Krishna, similarly, these forests please the birds by providing playgrounds for their pastimes. The Vanadevis wander hand in hand along the forest paths, softened from the sap constantly dripping from the trees. The forest bulls relieve their itching by rubbing their humps against the trees. This action forms lac dust, which mixes with the honey flowing down the trees to form a natural lac, which looks very beautiful when it sticks on the lac covered feet of the forest goddesses. The whole forest is sweetly scented from the juice of the cocoa berries spilling out of the mouth of the wild rams as they contentedly ruminate. The air is also scented from the aromatic bark of the devadaru trees, rubbed off by the horns of wild buffaloes. The sides of the hill are strewn with the branches of the sakali tree, broken by the tusks of the wild baby elephants, and the ground is covered with bunches of half-eaten grapes scattered by the family of monkeys. The aborigine women who wander through these thick forest groves have dark blue marica flower adorning their ears, and the juice of camphor flowers smeared on their hands. Their mouths are fragrant from chewing tambula. Besides the previously described forest of Vrindavan, there are many other forests such as Kamyavan and Lohavan. The rasala trees and other exotic vegetation in these forests create an extraordinary atmosphere. There are many trees such as mango, coconut, arjuna, banyan, palash, yellow sal, bel, jambu, ashok, bakula, naga champak, golden champa, sirsa, lodhra, piyala, salaki, pilu, kadamba, kairava, and tamal. Vines and shrubs include Navamalika, Kanakayutika, Labanga, Madhavi, Sthala Padma, Malika, Kandali, and Tulasi. Lakes full of crystal clear water covered with water lilies and white, blue, and red lotuses lie scattered throughout this forest. These lakes resound with the singing of herons, ducks, swan, cranes, ospreys, and chakravakas. From the description in the first part of this chapter, it is understood that Vrajamandal, although completely spiritual, is situated within the material world. A person afflicted with jaundice sees a white conch as yellow due to the disease effect on his vision. Similarly, a person with mundane vision sees Vrindavan as a material place. Out of his independent will, the Supreme Lord desired to appear in this world as the baby son of two personalities named Nanda and Yashoda, the eternal embodiments of parental affection. What is impossible for the Leela Shakti of Krishna, who is the origin of all avatars and the ocean of all pastimes? One may object, asking, why does Krishna perform pastimes in the material world? The only reason is to give pleasure to his devotees. In order to reveal the mood of the paternal affection arising from the activities of the babyhood and so on, Krishna agreed to become the son of Nanda and Yashoda. Accepting their care and attention, the omnipotent Lord covered His Majesty with an unprecedented sweetness by exhibiting all the different stages of boyhood such as Kumar, Poganda, and Kaishore. The Supreme Lord Krishna appeared like an ordinary human being. But throughout these stages, Krishna remained in his original form as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Madhurya Rasa is predominant in Vrindavan, the previous verse has only mentioned paternal affection. The reason for this is that all the pastime with the cow, gopas, and gopis also go on eternally in the spiritual world. But Krishna's babyhood pastime and the pastime of killing demons exist only in Gokula, in the material world. Thus, one should understand that sweetness of Bhaumya Leela is not available in the spiritual world.